Bye.
Brandon's polls, Brandon. It was a bad.
You know what one of the biggest problems we have when we take changes to you have the state flag, you have the unit flag, and you have the American flag. And by regulation, all three have to have the same point, eagle, whatever. Trying to find three poles with the same top is a bigger burden is anything else to change the command. You'd think we'd have that down by now. But we don't.
eBay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
eBay.
All right. There will be.
Mr. President and the board members, the board entered executive session at approximately 11:34 a.m. for the purpose of conducting business and discussions regarding litigation regarding Hinds County and acquisition of lands along the Byron-Clinton corridor. These are purposes authorized for executive session by Section 254174B and G of the Mississippi Code as amended, which permits executive sessions for strategy sessions or negotiations with respect to prospective litigation, litigation or issuance of an appealable order when an open meeting would have a detrimental effect on the litigating position of the public body, and G, transaction of business and discussion regarding the prospective purchase, sale, or leasing of lands. Those entering executive session were Supervisors Robert Brown, Peggy Calhoun, and Bill Fisher. Also present were Chancery Clerk Eddie Jean Carr, County Administrator Carmen Davis, Board Attorney Crystal Martin, Budget and Finance Director Doug Woods, Attorney Lawson Hester of Warren, Tarrant and Combs, who left at approximately 11:55 a.m. Public Works Director Carl Felix, who entered at approximately 11:57 a.m. and left at approximately 12:05 p.m. Mr. Joey Case of Wagner Engineering, who entered at approximately 11:57 a.m. and left at approximately 12:05 p.m. The first item for discussion was a litigation.
Do you have a deputy?
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Lewis.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And Mr. Ron Lewis, Deputy Sheriff. The first item for discussion was a litigation matter where Mr. Lawson Hester addressed the board providing an update on pending litigation upon motion by Supervisor Fisher and second by Supervisor Graham. All supervisors present voting aye. It was resolved to authorize the council representing Hinds County to take certain actions with respect to the pending litigation, the details of which will not be disclosed due to confidentiality. The second item for discussion was the acquisition of lands along the Byron-Clinton Parkway. There was discussion regarding the progression of acquiring property along the Byron-Clinton Parkway. Upon motion by Supervisor Fisher and a second by Supervisor Calhoun, all supervisors present voting aye. It was authorized to resolve the Hinds County acquisition team to move forward in entering the resolution and take certain action with regard to condemnation proceedings on parcels number 4851-104-10, 4851-104-2, and 4851-104-12. Upon motion by Supervisor Fisher and a second by Supervisor Brown, all supervisors present voting aye. It was resolved to return to open session. The board returned to open session from executive session at approximately 12:05 p.m. No other action, vote, or discussion of any kind took place in executive session.
Okay. All right. Mrs. Calhoun.
Yes, Mr. President, I would like to make a motion to reconsider previous action that was taken earlier this morning to rescind the action of hiring Malachi and Wagner as companies to conduct a feasibility study for the virus taking forward.
It's easy to read. It's easy to read, but I have to go through the motions, you know.
As a point of order.
Well, as a matter of fact,
Point of order to repeal or to rescind. Here you go.
Go ahead.
It says, any vote taken by the assembly, except those mentioned further on, may be rescinded by a majority vote, provided notice of the motion has been given at the previous meeting or in the call for this meeting, or it may be rescinded without notice by a 2/3 vote or majority vote of the entire membership. Under the 2/3 vote, this is where this qualifies.
I read it to you.
My question before we go to the motion is to Ms. Martin. And my question is, can you rescind the same motion that was approved at the same meeting where the people that voted in opposition or people that voted in favor are no longer present?
As I previously had to research, there is one meeting, there is nothing in Robert Rules of Order that prohibits this motion from being taken at this time.
and I don't believe Wagner was included in the motion, so that's correct. It was just Malachi, pay Malachi $200,000.
My concern on this, Mr. President, is that there is no work scope, there is no estimate of cost, and I'm still never got the question answered whether or not this had to be bid out or not. But regardless of the bidding out or not bidding out process, the concern about lack of work scope and an estimate of what this would cost leaves an open-ended contract that could run in excessive of a lot of money.
Okay. Let me just make one other particular statement as it relates to this. I think that they rescinded, or the motion was rescinded, but no one was actually hired. Is that correct? No, the only thing that happened was the motion was rescinded, but no one was officially hired.
Well, it depends on how technical you want to get. If the motion to rescind the termination was approved, then it stands to reason the motion that was previously in place is in effect.
What was the motion? I recall the motion saying to hire Malachi.
It was to rescind the termination.
Okay, rescind the termination.
Malachi. Did not include
Correct.
the other two entities on the Malachi.
Well, the only other course of action, of course, would be for me not to accept the motion, which I have the authority to do so, but in the act of fairness, I try not to do that at all costs. Anytime someone presents a motion, if the motion is a valid motion, regardless of who makes it and who it favors, then I'm going to try to make sure that I go with Robert's Rules of Order and stand to that particular motion. So a motion has been made.
Second.
A motion has been made and it has been properly seconded. Any additional discussion? Okay. All those in favor of?
Aye.
Opposed to? Nay. Motion passes. Will the clerk please read the order? I mean, I knew it was going to happen. There's no use to get upset about it. It's just, I knew it was going to happen. So.
It's going to be resolved to reconsider the previous motion to rescind the termination of Malachi for the feasibility study of the environmental order.
Turnabout's fair play. I mean, it's all in the matter of politics. Now we finished now.
Development Authority to do the field studies.
My motion is to hire Hinds County Economic Development District to conduct a study and pay for the study from their existing funds providing that study does not cost over $15,000.
Okay, is that an additional motion? Or is that part of the original motion?
Now that's an addition.
It's an additional motion. It's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor of? Opposed to? Nay. Motion passes. Okay, any additional items? I will now read that the March 15, 2012 work session here in the boardroom at 9 a.m. March 19th, a special meeting here in the boardroom at 9 a.m. And April 2nd, from 9 a.m. here in the boardroom, our next regular scheduled meeting. Any additional, special, recessed, or other meeting may be held by posting minute entries or by any other means allowed by law. Now we need a motion to adjourn.
And I suggest county administrator notify contractors.
So moved.
It's been moved. Is there a second? I'll second it. It's been moved and proper second. All those in favor of? Opposed to? The meeting is now adjourned at
12:14 p.m.